Hello, the income stream community. I'm happy to be here once again, and I'm really excited because we are the session 19 out of session 27 of the DigiCode Virtual Empowerment Conference. And I'm excited to have one of my a brother in the business of printing and publishing industry to be joining us in this session, and his name is Fola Folagbade, and he is going to be walking us through how to start the business of publishing book. You know, if you are looking for a side hustle that you can start without even much capital, I think one of the business you can venture into is book publishing or printing in generally. So he's into the two. So this session is going to be interactive because one, I can say it's something like I can say that it's also my own field, that I also have the knowledge of it. So we are going to be engaging with each other. Likewise, if you are online, drop your comments. Let's hear from you because we want to make it an interactive question or interactive session. It's not something that we just leave Fola alone to be doing the job alone. So if you are online, drop your comment. I can see I can see people online, but drop your comment. Don't be silent. Let's know that you are with us so that we will know, we will know that we are not doing it alone. So, my Oga, Fola Folagbade, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, boss. I'm doing fine, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the good work we've been doing. I'm so sorry I'm doing this on the motion. I have to park now. I've been stuck in traffic, but of course we still have to get things done, right? So I'm doing this right inside the car. Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Fola Folagbade. Thank you for having me here, and I'm really excited to be sharing my knowledge, my experience in this industry. So thank you for having me here.
You are welcome. But before we go into the session, let's hear from you. How did you start this journey? When did you start, and how did you start it?
Oh, okay. Publishing for me started sometimes in 2017, even though I was fully into branding then, but of course I was getting, I started out doing cover design, interior design for hotels, right? So before I moved fully into it. So sometimes in 2017, I would say, I started, though not full publishing, so to say, it was more of the creative part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And how was the journey so far?
Okay, so the journey has been amazing, and it has been one of the best decisions I've made so far. Even though I've done different businesses and all, but I think it's been a game changer for me. And yeah, it's I was writing an article today. People see excellence is attributed to what we do, but then excellence comes with sacrifices, right? So there are times we've had times that we had to produce an entire project worth millions of naira because I wasn't satisfied with it, right? So, and even more recently, something very close to that happened, right? A cover design, we've done everything. I'm glad you're into production too and all. So we've done everything. We've spotted the cover. We've done everything about the cover. It's just for us to now bind it. And we now discover just one thing on the cover. And we have to just completely condemn the cover and start all over again. And of course, you know what paper is saying now, but
Of course.
these are some of the sacrifices you want to make. If you have, if you know where you're going, and if you really, really want to stand by your word, right? So that's it. But then, aside that, of course, it's been a journey of learning for me personally, because I didn't get to work with any publisher before I started out, right? So you can imagine. So we learned on the job, and we keep learning, and we keep getting better at it. Yeah. So it's been amazing, filled with so many lessons, and of course, yeah, interesting.
Okay. No, what I want to do is, though it's going to be an interactive session. We are engaging with the audience, and
Yeah.
then I will also come in. But what I want us to just do that now. Someone want to start this business of book publishing, and
Yeah.
first, we have two kind of people. There are those who are coming into the business without any initial capital, and there are some people who are
Yeah.
coming with enough capital to start with the business. So what we want you
Yeah.
to do is, how can you bring the two together? So how can you carry the two along? Okay, you don't have a much capital. Okay, this is how you can start. You that you have enough capital,
Okay.
if you want to start the business, this is how you can go into it. Let's start from the
Okay.
boss. Yeah.
Okay, so one of my belief as a person is, I am of the opinion that even if you have capital, it's better you start without capital.
Okay.
The thing about me when it comes to business is, I always like to test the water before I fully go into it. That's one thing. That's my own belief. I always like to start small and then keep getting big at it. You understand? So if I have 100 million now, I might find it difficult to throw it into a business I've not really tried for some time, right?
Yes.
So publishing happens to be one of those businesses that you can start with zero capital. That's just the truth. It's one of those businesses that you can start with zero capital. Like when I started out, I say it's that publishing has different areas, and one of the things what most people that I've seen in this part of the world that are into publishing, they are into publishing because they are good with writing or something, right? Why why I enter into publishing? Because I have interest in designing.
Okay.
Most people get into publishing because they are good with writing. You understand? Okay? Why did I enter? Because I wanted to change the narrative of the design. There are other areas that you can come in from based on your strengths. So I think it should come from what you are naturally good at. If you are good with marketing, yeah, that's a way to also penetrate. You understand? If you're good with maybe you are through that. Maybe you start getting people's book on different platforms. You just need to understand how to get that done, right? If you're good with let's say marketing, why not help authors? Why not just position yourself as authors marketer, publicity? To help them with publicity, right? So and this will not cost you. It's just social media is there to leverage on. That is what I did anyways. And that's what I still do, right? So I leverage so much on social media, and I believe that anybody can leverage on social media very well. So if, for instance, I'm a marketer, I'm good with Facebook ads, or I just have that interest, I want to get into that, I can decide to just focus on that for authors. There are so many authors that want to, every author, not just so many, want to get their books sold, right? So if you position yourself as a marketer for authors, it's a brilliant part of publishing that you're going to be making, you're going to be crashing out. I know a number of people that are doing that, right? And you could also be PR for authors. You could just be PR and just be specific for authors. The truth of the matter is there are so many authors coming out every day, and authors also need help, just like every other business. I remember when I was about starting out, I was discussing with a business person, and I was saying that, I want to go into publishing, full publishing and all of those things. And he was coming from the angle of how many people write books in Nigeria? How many people also read books? That that industry is not really a viable industry. Okay, so but I was convinced, and I knew that when I look at my timeline, I see how many authors dishing out books every day. I was convinced that this that I'm going into, I'm going to do well at it. And yeah, that was it for me. And today we get loads of authors, wanting to work with us, and it's really a decision for us sometimes to even know if you want to work with this person or work with that person. So, and I believe that that is the way the industry is so big, and you really don't need to put cash down to start. As for me, I didn't put any. I just started with my little talent. I would call it little talent, but I was able to maximize. And now people see us as the creative, that if you want your book to come out in a very beautiful way or something and you want it to be produced well and all, yeah. So you can create a niche and just stay by it without really putting cash down.
Okay, that is awesome. That is good. And then let's assume that someone, a novice that want to start this business, a novice that want to start it. If you want to encourage this person, okay, you as a new person, you want to get along. I mean, you want to start this business. What are the kind of skills that you will recommend for them, or what are the kind of things you will recommend for them that they should have before they embark on it?
Okay, so it's also like I mentioned the other time. It's depends on how or the intention of wanting. I mean, the person has a mind for wanting to do the business, right? So if for instance now you want to do publishing as a whole, like you want to have publishing now, what I would advise first is start with one area, one aspect of publishing, then you can now expand. So if you're good with writing, why not get better at it and then be writing for other people? Or get better at it, be editing for other people, right? So if you're good with, let's say you're a videographer or you have interest in videography, you can be doing video ads for authors. So the more, because that is how I started out anyway. So like I said the other time, I started doing cover design, and it was easier for me to now say that, oh, let's try your interior design. So we started that way. Okay, it was easier for me to say that, okay, fine, this book that we've done the cover, the interior, can we try producing it? So I would advise that you just pick one aspect that you are good at ordinarily before, and then start building up on that. So if you think you are good with art for authors, you can, like I mentioned before, you can be doing marketing. You can just focus on that. So I won't say that you should get all the required knowledge at once. I would just say that you should look at what is easier for you to get access to, or the knowledge that you already have that you can just build on a little bit, that will help authors to gain visibility and make money. Everybody wants to make money, right? So if you can convince me very well that your video trailer will help me to reach more audience, why not? I will pay you for it. So you can just focus on video trailer. If you can convince me that my book will be on 16, 20 different websites that are secured, why not? I would want to pay you for you to help me to spread the book across different platforms. Then from there, you start gaining, you start having, what's it called, a clientele list, right? And then when you now want to introduce another service, it's easier for you to talk to those people you worked with before, because you've gained trust, right? So like I actually said, I wouldn't say gain all the ones, because it's really pretty, it's quite vast. Like printing itself, it's a skill on its own, and editing is a skill. Designing is a skill, and of course, marketing the book is a skill. and even and even distributing it on different platforms is a skill that needs time, and all of these things you might not be able to start everything at once. So I would advise that you just pick one that is a bit convenient for you to start with and focus on it and make sure that you satisfy those customers very well. Then later, when you introduce another one, it's easier for them to accept it from you. Okay. So thank you, Amara. Thank you for the comment. And so about starting the business, what I saw as the challenges that we face is this issue of piracy, right? So you get something done and then someone else decided to pirate it, and all of that. Yeah. Or you came up with, in Nigeria, we are not yet fully there. We can't really control some of those things. Or you come up with a fantastic design cover. There are some of our covers that I've seen, and it's very easy for us to know when we see someone that is trying to copy. You understand? Sometimes, because when we are doing cover, we go as far as if the author needs to put a picture in front, we go as far as even directing how the picture should look because of my knowledge of photography as well, right? So there are some of our covers that to that level, some people will go to the studio to want to snap like the author, the design to want to look like it, you understand? So these are some of the things that we face, but we are fine because one of the reasons why I came into publishing also is also to change the narrative, to change the game. And I think that is happening already. So many people are now putting attention to how their book cover should look, how the production should be like, the finishing and all of those things. Yeah. So I was discussing, this is also part of the challenges. I was discussing with one of our clients, of course, this is our second book we're working with, and she was like, oh my God, our book was a bit expensive because of the production and our fee, the editing and all of those things that she had to pay for before she finished up with the book. And she had our other colleagues who, of course, they did their books somewhere else. They didn't pay attention to all of those things. And so their book came out cheaper, right? So the printing was just, and the truth of the matter is some Nigerians don't really care. They just buy it. You understand? They don't care if the work is done well and all of those things. So my answer to her is, you're not in this business because of your colleagues or your friends, right? You are in this business because you have a brand to protect. And so you have to stand in for excellence, not just because I want you to work with us. Even if you don't work with us, you should still stand for excellence. So one of the challenges we face is some people are just in the business to do anything, and in a way, I would say it affects us because, of course, we know our audience, we know our market. So it could be one of the reasons if you are coming in because you have a brand to protect, like you are giving your best, and of course it doesn't come cheap. You might have so many competitors that are willing to do it far cheaper than what you are doing, right? So you have to just accept that, and I think that's the same. It's common in many businesses like that, right? So because you will see people that will do it cheaper, right? But you still have to stand.
Very common in printing and publishing line.
You understand? It's very, very common in printing and publishing. So, but you just have to know what you're standing for and don't compromise. I used to emphasize on that when I make some of my posts on social media. We won't compromise quality for anything. You understand? And so our audience is when you are ready to go in for quality, when quality now matters to you, then you will reach out to us because you know that, okay, fine, you're not getting anything but quality, right? Yeah. So, but if you still want to play around, you still want to do the try and error, photocopy looking like printing, and you have a book, some are grouped together, different stuff that you see that happened in production, right? So if you still want, you can still continue doing that. So you need to I think if you're going in, just know from the onset the audience you want to attend to, because there are so many competitors and so many.
Hello?
Am I still there?
Yeah, you are still on. You are still on. You are still on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I was waiting to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you. I thought maybe it was network too. That is good because
Okay.
printing and publishing sometimes is very is a business that is very deep. What someone is doing at 1 million naira, someone will offer it to do it at 700,000. While some will say, if I have 450, I will do it. But I used to wonder sometimes that these
Yeah.
people that are doing it at this low price, how are they doing it? But I
Yeah.
have come to discover that it's not something that I need to go and worry myself about, because there are some people they have access to the materials, and
Yeah.
some people they are the owner of their machines, so they can decide to go low, and you can't compare
Yeah.
with them. So, and this is one of the challenges we really face in printing. Someone will tell you, this your price is too cost. What you call for me at 100,000 naira, someone did for me at 60,000, and you'll be wondering, these people that are doing it at 60,000, how are they managing to do it? And that is printing for you. That is printing for you. It's very broad, and
Yeah.
printing and publishing is very broad. It's very broad, and it's one of the very lucrative business that you can do without any initial capital. Even my own, when I started, the guy that brought me into the system is actually my friend. We met in school,
Yeah.
and we were given assignment, and he was complaining about the assignment, and I told him that I can do it. So he was like, okay, you can do the assignment. He said yes. Okay, it's okay. He now fund the assignment. Well, after I now finished the assignment, I wanted to give him his own copy. He asked me to come around to Mushin. So on getting there, I saw where were collating calendar. That was the first time I would see where people are collating calendars. So I was like, well, I like what these guys are doing. I would like to learn more about it. It's not business for the fine boys. That if I know I want to do it, I should go and think about it. And that was how I entered into the business. I didn't come into the business with any capital to save, but I take my time to study it, and then I started going out, reaching out for customer. I think if you are looking at starting printing, you don't really have much things to do. Just know little things. Okay, if you want to print a book,
Yeah.
okay, what are the process that is going to pass through? Okay, if you can, just learn how to do quotation. And this is where maybe you might need, because when I started, I was leveraging on people to help me to do the quotation. Some of them were even playing smart on me, where I would need like plate A2, where I would need like 5, they might write 7, and at the end of the day they will go and do the turn print and turn for me. But all these things I don't know. We have many terminology in printing, so when you come in, that's when you
Yeah.
understand. So I will not when you maybe in a place that they know that print and turn is okay, the plate, you just want, they will write it 2 for me. But I just persevere. I know that at the long run, I will understand this thing, and once I understand it, no one will be able to cheat me, and that is just it.
Yeah.
Learn quotation, learn where you are going to be sourcing your material, and then learn those guys, know where you are going to get the vendors that will do your job for you, because all these things, they are
Yeah.
processed from graphics to the litho, from litho to the press, from press to those guys that will do the finishing for you. That is sewing,
Yeah.
collating, margin, then book binding, and then cutting. All these things,
Yeah,
you know them.
that's the interesting part of printing, really. If you ask me,
Okay.
you it's one business. Publishing, it's one business that you don't have to start with your own machines. You
Yes.
don't have to start with, like we've been discussing since. There is one business that you don't really need much capital to, you understand, because those machines are not cheap, right?
They are not cheap.
So, and even if you have the money, you don't have to just go and buy the machine once. You need to first understand how the business runs, right? So it's just about understanding how to print. Like if you really want to go into the printing part of publishing, like I said, publishing is so broad, right? You can publish books without printing, right? But if you want to get it like physical book, you want to also be doing that for customers, yeah, of course, you just need to learn about the printing, and like you rightly said, learn about the quotation, because that's where it starts from, how to be able to give price to people so you don't run at loss, and of course you are not even being cheated, and of course it's still fair enough for the customer. Yeah, it's really a fantastic business and industry, if you ask me. And do you know one thing? I feel that the industry is just growing. There's still so much that is going to be happening in the publishing space in years to come.
Of course, with the like of someone like you, because I'm looking at the people that can change the printing, the publishing business. Okay, like all this, what Amazon is doing. I'm looking for people that can incorporate it to the Nigerian, into our system too. That is ordering books,
print on demand.
Print on demand. Yeah, print on demand. No, we don't. I don't think we have anyone that is doing that at the moment. But if something that me and you, because we are into the business, that we can bring our own Amazon into Nigeria, it will be okay. Okay, I have seen some people that will come to
it's really possible.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. So I have seen some people that will come to me that is there a way I can get like 10 books? But one thing that most of these people don't understand is that the cost of printing with low books, like low quantity books, maybe printing 10, is more higher when you are printing like 100 or 200 or 1,000. So when you are now giving them price for that 10, let's assume you value the book. Now, okay, if you want to do print on demand for this 10, maybe pay for 4,000. They'll say, no, it's too much. If I want to print 700, but they don't understand how printing works. So that is one thing about it, about that. So thank you. Now, before I have another question that I would like to ask, which is very, very important. Like what strategy can someone put in place to get seen in the market?
Okay, that's everything I would be saying today. Like I said, it's going to be from what works for me. You understand? Because that's what works for me, and I believe it can work for everybody. To be seen is very easy. That's one thing that I know. It's very easy. It's you just have to be intentional about it. Number one, who are the people in your network? So, who are the people you roll with? Who are the people that, in your network that you roll with? So, I might not be able to tell you how to go about changing your network, but you and I know how important your network influence can be on you, right? So that's starting with that. Then another thing would be that stand for something, be known for something. So like I said, the publishing, everybody is doing publishing, but what makes you different? So just like Amaka said right there, that is it Amaka? I think Amara, right? Amara, right? Yeah. Just like she said right there in the comments, though I can't see the comment right now, that the cover designs are cover designs. I think that's one of our own strengths, right? People know that, okay, fine, when it comes to the visual part of the book, it will come out well, right? And then when it comes to the production, it's going to be done perfectly. So it's easier for me to sell that in the market. So I'm not just saying, come and publish your book or something. Yeah, everybody is saying that. So you have to be different and be known for that thing. It's very easy for you to now, for people to want to come to you for that. I know some very good editors that they are extremely good, and because of that, the rush they are getting is so much that in most cases they have to just drop it. That's why I said that publishing is very vast. I know some editors that are making even more money than a full publishing house. Sometimes, like publishing house that I mean is maybe that doesn't have a machine, but that is outsourcing or something, right?
Okay.
So some editors are charges as high as 1M, 2M to work on a project. This is not like they are producing anything in it, right? But this is what they've been able to build over time, and they decided to stay in that lane and master it very well, right? And then be known for that, and they are very good at it. So that's what I would just say, that be known for something and let it reflect. And there is one thing again on social media: anybody that teaches on a particular topic is known as authority in that space. So if you are into editing, for instance, and you always tell us about English that is right, and there's a way we have confidence in you. So maximize social media by teaching us what we need to understand, even though you are indirectly selling market, but be teaching us, be giving us messages. Stuff that would lead us to, respect you in that space. You understand? So one of the things that I did when we started out is I was basically telling people the importance of a good cover and how to get it right? I would do video, I would write content and all of those things. I would talk about the disadvantages. So I was, of course, changing people
mentality orientation,
taking their focus. Do you understand? To this thing, maybe they were not even thinking of that before, right? So you need to now tell us what that service you're trying to sell to us, why it's important, why we should take it. And for you to do that, you need to teach us more about that industry. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. I'm enjoying the session already. But if you have any question that you want to ask, because I can see people online, and please drop them right now, because we will soon close the session. If you have any question you want to ask concerning how to start the business, or maybe you are having any challenges concerning your business or your book, we have Fola Folagbade of Worital here right now to attend to your question. Please drop them before we close the session. What I want to ask right now is that what are the factors that that are affecting the industry, and how can we, and maybe with the stakeholders, solve the problem? Because at least we are experts in the industry.
The challenges, like I mentioned before, one of the challenges to be that some people still not taking note of, you pick up some books. I won't mention a particular name. He's a very popular person, very vibrant business person. His book was just released recently. Even though I ordered for the book, it has not been delivered to me, so I'm still waiting. But a friend of mine that bought the book was giving comments about the book, about the grammar. So the author decided not to edit the book. He just felt that he's good enough. Maybe I wouldn't know his reason, I don't know. But then he just decided not to edit the book. So I think one of the challenges in the industry is some people just handling it chabbily, like they're not handling it like a business. Like look at someone, publishing a book without working with an editor. Even our great Shoyinka, they won't write a book without working with editors, not even one, right? So we have people like that kind of mindset that you can just get it done anyhow, right? So it's challenging indeed. So when you're telling them what is important and all of that, sometimes they just feel like it's not important, right? So it's challenging changing their mind. But we will keep trying by writing content, by doing videos, by doing events like this to create more awareness on stuff that they need to understand about this industry, right? You don't just get it done anyhow. You need to do it properly because it's a business and you are passing a message to the general public. It should be done properly so that the right message can be passed, right? So, of course, that's more like it in the piracy of the thing. And that's why, okay, I was reading on social media. I don't know if you saw in that post, someone released a book as free, ebook, and someone else decided to pick that book and printed the book and be selling it. So the only thing is, he just decided to change the author's
We have things like that going. We have
name,
many
just the
stories
author's
like that.
name.
Yeah. He changed the
You
author's name to
understand?
his own and he started selling it.
And he started selling it. He even printed copies of the book.
Wow.
You get, so it's really crazy. It's one of those things, and that's why I always advise authors that don't release your book as PDF. That's my own rule. Don't release your book as PDF. If you really want to do ebook, then let it be on in code, at least a bit secured website like maybe Amazon Kindle, maybe Okada Books, maybe Bam Books, that are still a bit, it's not like they're 100% secure, but at least to a level, it's still a bit secure, right? So the moment you send your book out as PDF, people can decide to share it on WhatsApp. They can decide. Nigerians normally, when they buy an ebook, they feel that they have the right to share it anyhow. They do it anyhow they want, right? So I would just say that, that's also challenging. Piracy. Yeah, those are the two things. People handling it channelly, and then piracy generally in the industry.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that case is very touching. Why I'm just wondering why someone would go and take another person's intellectual property and then convert it into his own. When well, we have different people, we have people, and we have different people.
No,
So
it's really crazy, but it's just a reality
I think
we have to live with. You understand? We need
yeah.
to understand and then live with it, right? So I if you are aware that this is happening, then why not just take precaution? Why not just at least if you're releasing a book as PDF, just zero your mind that anything can happen and pick it up and all of those things. And it's just the way things are in the industry.
Okay. Okay. In the absence of no question, we are going to assume that you are enjoying the section. But before we close the session, sir, let's just practicalize what process that a book passed through to become a book.
Okay, so the process, the first thing is for you to have the idea. I always tell people that you can even write the book without you penning down the word, right? So that's why we have different people that you can work with. We have the ghostwriter. So the first thing is for you to just have an idea of what you want to write about. Yeah, so from the idea, then you get to the writing stage, right? So working, you can decide to work with a ghostwriter, or after the writing, we move to the editing stage. So from the editing, you may move to the designing stage. That's where you get the cover design, the interior design done, right? And of course, then you move to the if you want to do ebook distribution, you can now do ebook distribution. You have it on different, maybe Bamboo, Sukada Books, and Kobo, and all of those platforms, right? You can have it there, right? So, and then you can now move from there to production.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
From there, you move to production stage, which has to do with the printing. You understand? And so, if you don't have a background with printing, for a start, you can outsource, but you just need to monitor. And while outsourcing, you need to now understand, to be learning on the job. You understand? So, but then it's a bit challenging outsourcing. You need to know that this person has a result, right? And yeah, so that's the thing. Then after that, then you can now talk of maybe when the book is out, then the distribution, because printed book too has to be distributed or can be distributed. So there are platforms where you can sell the printed books. We have the book peddler, we have Robin Heights and some other platforms like that, that you can have your printed books and they will be selling and be having their own
Commission.
a percentage of the money, yeah, commission on each sales. Yeah. So you have it distributed that way. And of course you go on with your marketing. Even though I always say that marketing should start from the very first day, you start talking, I mean you talk about the goal. You should start writing about book and start making pre-order, even from the very first day you got here. Yeah, so that's it. That's about it.
Okay, okay. So in the absence of no question, we want to close right now. But if you have your question, we just have less than 3 minutes to do that. Less than 3 minutes. If you have any question that you want to ask, please drop them. But someone is asking, is there difference between proofreading and editing?
I didn't get that question.
Someone asks, is there difference between proofreading and editing?
Oh yes, there is difference between proofreading and editing. Yeah, proofreading has to do with when the book is edited, more like completely done. So you feel that it's completely done, but then let someone else just read through. It's not, the person is not really editing, so to say, because editing as it were has different types, right? We have the developmental editing. We have different type of editing. So editing is a bit broader. It has to do with the content. So you can write a paragraph and an editor will change it completely that it's not interesting to read this way. The readers will not get it this way, right? So it should be tweaked and be reworked on. You understand, or something like that. So that's more like work of editor. So editor can decide to maybe you've even written the whole book and decide to now change the story or tweak it in a way that will be more friendly to the readers. You understand? Why proofreading is more of, okay, maybe there is no comma somewhere, maybe there is no full stop, maybe there is something that is missing, just little thing that that needs to be done. It's just like maybe when you build a house, you plaster it. Plastering house is different from painting, right? So it's just you plaster the house, more like that. The editing is, of course, it's, you can live there, but if you want it to be really beautiful, you want to add painting to it, right? So that's where the proofreading part comes in.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. Well, since you
Yeah.
are not you don't. I think people don't have anything to ask, and let's just pre-assume
Yeah.
that they enjoy the section. So starting a publishing business is very easy, just like Fola has said. No, just know where you are going to get your material, know where you are going to source your customer. Then once you have your customer and you know what they want to do, know where you are going to buy the materials. No, we have two different types of book, and I mean the white paper book and brown paper book. If it's white paper, if it's brown
Yeah.
paper, yeah. Then once you know where you can get your material, then the press that will print for you, okay, know where you are going to get them. We have many of them in Shomolu, we have some of them also in Mushin, and we have some in Ikeja. But I will recommend you stick around Shomolu and Mushin because of the materials. Because if you are
Yeah.
trying to use Ikeja, most of the material that we use in printing, they are not in Ikeja. So we get most of this material
Yeah.
around Mushin and Shomolu. So it's better you just move everything to that area so that you will not stress yourself. Then once you know the press
Yeah.
that will print your book, we also have other part that we call finishing side. What they do is that they are the one that will help you. When you print on paper, it's just on a plain paper, it's on A2 size. So you have to fold it. So we have manual folding
Mm.
and we have machine folding. So it now depends which one you want to go for.
Washington.
Yeah. So once you are done with the folding, okay, do you need to sew the book? It's not all the book we sew, but there are some books too that you don't even need to sew. That what you need is stitching. Okay, it's still book too.
Yeah.
We have book like that what they just is teaching. You don't need to do the
Yeah.
perfect binding. Perfect binding is the one that looks strong like gum or something like that, glue. That is perfect binding. So okay, so that is
Yeah.
just
If it's done well, if it's
yes.
done well,
If it
you
is
know, perfect binding can still be done and it will still be pulling out too. So
yes,
it's not depends on how it's being done. That's
yes,
why I said that if anybody wants to do that printing part and you want to partner with any other person or something, you need to check the person's track record and you need to know what you really want so that you don't flop at the end. It's important.
yes, and you have to be very very careful when you are going into this business because once there's a mistake in anything in printing and you have printed it, there's no any solution than to go and reprint it
Exactly.
unless I doubt it unless okay, so that is just something you have to pay attention to in printing. So that's why they see most of the guys in printing that they are very smart because they know what they are dealing with. So once they print it and there's error, you have to go back and reprint it. So that is it. So you have to be, it's not something that
Yeah.
you do anyhow. So you have to be patient with it, take your time to read. If there was when I started this thing, there was a day that I wanted to print a book and I've done the plate. So
Yeah.
one of my mentors in the industry now asked me that I should go and take the plates one by one and read it. So I was like, this is a punishment. How can I read almost 30 plates? A2. Are you getting it? But do you know that by the time I took one of
Yeah.
the plates, I just discovered that were about 3 words has been deleted, which could have been maybe from the from the film that I'm using, or maybe from the litho guy. Can you see now? So there are some
Mm,
little things that we need to you
mm.
should be paying attention to. Don't be too lazy. Okay, don't be too lazy to do some things. Monitor your job by yourself so that you don't just presume that someone is doing it for me. No, go and monitor it because if anything happens, you are the one
Yeah. Yeah.
that the thing is going to backfire on. So thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for you honoring our invitation to come and share with us on how to start book publishing business. Actually, uh, uh,
Thank you.
yeah, well, you have shown your face earlier on. So it's what I want to do now is that, in case anyone wants to contact you,
Yes,
how will
I
they be
can.
able to get to that?
I can still show my face.
Okay, okay,
Okay. Yeah. If anyone wants to contact me, of course, I'm very, very active on Facebook. I'm very, very active on Facebook. That's my platform. Yeah.
okay.
So it's easier to reach me on Facebook, and of course, Worital everywhere on social media. That's WORITAL, Worital. Yeah. So I can be reached using maybe through Worital or Facebook. Fola Folagbade. That's my name on Facebook.
As you are
Yeah.
seeing it on the screen, yeah, that is Fola Folagbade. That is his name. So if you go to Facebook, you'll be
Yeah.
able to get to reach out to him. So it's someone that I can recommend, irrespective of the fact that we are in the same field. I can recommend him for you. That is a go-to when it comes to printing. So I'm not in the business of doing competition with anybody. I'm not in the business of doing competition. So
Meanwhile, you are doing amazing work. I like when I see people like you, um, you know, that are really, really much, as in doing much more than just getting money from people and all of that. Standing in for something is important. It's one of those things that is a bit scarce, especially these days. So thank you very much for all you do for the industry. And yeah, I pray that bigger you and may God help us to be able to influence the industry positively more and more.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. And on this note, this
Yeah.
is where we are ending the session right now, the Income Stream Community. Join us at 4 p.m. West Africa time as we continue the session with how to start exportation business with Amara Nnaji. So at this note, I'm going to close the session right now. Thank you, my brother, for joining us today. We are excited and we wish you all the best in life. And
Thank you for having me.
you are welcome. And for you, if you want to get in
Thank
touch with
you.
him, just go to Facebook, search his name, Fola Folagbade. or visit his website, Worital, that is WORITAL.com. You will be able to get in touch with him, and you will also see most of the books that he has published, so that you will know whom he is. So thank you everyone. See you at 4 p.m. Bye for now.